Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. We're getting our Final Fantasy XIV stream started today. Just a minute early or so, it looks like. But we're clearing out our inventory right now, trying to get some stuff up on the market board, just some small stuff, just so we can clear up some inventory space, and then we'll be popping back over to a more populated data center and queuing up for Titania. There we go. We're filled up now. All our retainers are filled up. 20 items each there. Okay, let's get our inventory sorted. We got plenty of space now in the inventory. And we can just log off here and head back over to a more populated data center here. Alright, so let's switch to Reaper here and get ourselves queued up for Titania. And it could take a while this morning. But we've got some stuff we can do. We started our first round of Crystarium deliveries. And we've got to finish up our Fisher as well. Let's see, get back over to Crystarium there and out to Lakeland. We can fly in Lakeland now, so that's nice. What did we pick up here? Surface slap. Yeah. Double hook. Yep. That's what we want there. Oh, awesome. All right. Excellent. We'll go right into it then. That's a bonus. Nice. Who goes there? Ah, so much time lost, so much frolicking and feasting left undone. We must make up for it. We must, beginning by playing with you.
Come and play, for the night is bright and you can sleep when you're dead. Play with fire. sick of this cramped old castle. Let's
Somebody ducked out, I guess. At least we got him back. Up, guys, come on. Jeez. Don't bring those damn circles to everybody else, please. Fuck, don't run towards me. Oh, man. Did we get him or no?
Dance like the leaves on the ground. This is so much fun. Let's do some more.
Yay, we did it. Oh my gosh.
We can play no more.
You have freed our fallen king. Not that I expected any less, my Snayak. The dress, the crown, the scepter, the shoes. The time has come for these relics to serve their true purpose. For they are not only keys to the castle, they are also blessings to be bestowed upon the new king. The way into the castle is opened when it is time to relieve the reigning monarch of the throne. And the brave soul who does the deed has the honor of taking their place. However, should you ascend the throne, you will become one of us, never again to live as men do. My adorable sapling, my precious mortal. We Fae folk live forever, but such is not your virtue. To strive for a dream you will never see, to sow seeds that others might one day taste the fruits of your garden, that is the beauty of your kind. Burn bright and shine as only you can. These blessings, your lovely branch will accept in your stead. Kinla, Ilichla, Ilmeg, Okbra. Now, shall we attend to those unwise enough to trespass in our realm?
Confound it! How did they get here so fast? Damn these pixies and their tricks! How in the seven hells?
Listen well. We come in pursuit of villains who have fled to this land. You know who and where they are. Now show yourselves and answer me before I lose my patience.
Oh, stop! It hurts! It hurts!
Enough! Lift the enchantment!
Minfilia, willful child. How many times must I come to collect you?
I won't return to Yulmore. And I won't let you hurt my friends.
What is this stance? Where did you learn it? No oracle I trained would make such an unseemly show of herself. Know your shame, gal. You're powerless. You have no life nor purpose, save that which our master sees fit to permit.
Who are you to dictate her purpose? To lock her away and deny her a life? If she was powerless, it's because of you, you sanctimonious swine. But no longer.
Fool! Defiance only begets more suffering. It is through acceptance alone that one may find solace in this god's-forsaken world.
Look! The sky!
She's done it. The Warrior of Darkness has triumphed.
General? What are our orders? What do we do?
We do what we came to do. Subdue this rabble and find the Warrior of Darkness.
Forward, men! Take the villains captive! Are you deaf? I said...
All right.
Axla Orwain!
Axla Orwain! What? What's happening? Water? That wasn't there before.
Orwaig Hansasi, Orwaig Kinsi. Help me!
What's the matter with you? Get a hold of yourselves, damn it! General, they come in greater numbers. We must retreat.
All who stand with the Warrior of Darkness shall face justice. My master demands it.
I see. Well, it's a good thing Feaul volunteered to become king in your stead, for all our sakes.
We are grateful for your timely aid, Feaul, or should I say, your majesty.
It was the first night in recent memory. We all of us but wished to make the most of it. That's something you must remember about us Fae folk. Though our existence may be eternal, we exist only for the present. We live in the here and now, paying no mind to futures that may or may not be. To wit, we are not driven as men are. We cannot fight for such causes as men do.
Does that mean you won't aid us against the Sin Eaters?
Not unless the mood takes us. But if it was to repay a debt, well then, that's another matter. To take back as much as is taken. To create as much as is destroyed. To give as much as is received. Such is the way of Ilmeg. By this law, we shall lend you our strength. In return for the beautiful sky you have restored to us. In times of need, do not hesitate to call.
What about our pact?
Silly sapling. I shall remain at your side. Even should my body be in the castle, 'tis a simple thing to have a little part of me accompany you. Treat them as you would your Isnefis.
Well, that's nice. Successful there. Ultimately. Ne'er for a moment did I doubt that thou wouldst triumph over thy foe. Yet the majesty of thine achievement delighteth me none the less. Night hath returned to Ilmeg, and we stand one step closer to delivering the first from its doom and averting the 8th umbral calamity. 'Tis but a pity thou wert not present to see the Fae folk put the Yule Morns to flight. 'Twas a sight to raise the spirits, I do assure thee. Ah, but what valuable allies they might prove, were the mood only to take them. Indeed. There, now we can fly in Ilmeg. Level 73, and we're going to get us some kind of gift here. I knew you could do it, and not only because of your blessing. You have a strength all your own, and it has seen us through many a trial. With the warden defeated, I believe our work here is done. It is time we were going, together, needless to say, to the bitter end, the fate of our two worlds being at stake and all that. Now then, I suggest we hurry back to the Crystarium. Much and more may have happened while we were frolicking with the Fae folk. That Ranjit elected to pursue us makes me hopeful the city was spared Yulmor's attentions, but I would sooner see for myself. Besides, I believe I speak for all of us when I say that I've had a belly full of Ilmeg. Let us away before the fairies think to play with us again. That's a good idea, Thancred. And I do want to get that fishing quest started there again. Go ahead and run back down to Sullen. Get that unlocked so we can just go fishing next time we have to wait for a queue. Or work on crafting and gathering. Alright, let's step back outside here. Boy, that was nice and lucky to have that queue pop so fast for us. Kind of figured it might be like that on the weekend, though. I was a little worried that it said a 18-minute wait time estimated at the beginning. We'll have a lot we can do during our downtime waiting for queues now once we get this done. Isn't this wonderful? I never tire of gazing across the source. Did you know that most of the fish eaten in the crustarium come from these waters? Unfortunately, my newfound duties prevent me from coming here as often as I'd like. Do my eyes deceive me? Could it be that our illustrious leader has found the time in his busy schedule to pay us a visit? No doubt he'll have more of his words of wisdom to impart. I wish only to diversify the types of fish delivered to the crustarium, and for that I need your cooperation, as we discussed before. Diversify? Are you saying our catches aren't good enough? I've been earning a living here since you were but a cub, so don't tell me how to do my job. As for you, I'd advise giving this one a wide berth before he starts filling your head with all sorts of nonsense. He wouldn't even be in charge if it weren't for that one spell of good luck. There are dozens of honest fishers better suited to the position, and none of them would waste their time on wild theories and myths. You'd have us risking our necks in some wretched hellhole trying to catch a species that, for all we know, might not even exist. We're already providing the people of the crustarium with all the fish they need, so why change things? Listen, Frithik, the best thing you can do is stay out of our way. Why don't you go back to your books while we get on with some real work? I'm sorry you had to see that. It seems that Merville is in no mood to hear my proposal. Perhaps you'd be more receptive to my ideas. There's something I'd like to show you if you're interested. What a relief. To be honest, I don't think my heart could bear any more rejection. Anyway, I'll meet you at the Cabinet of Curiosity. Down there. The only thing I enjoy more than fishing is getting engrossed in a good book. Come to think of it, that's partly the reason why I became representative for the facet of fishing in the first place. You see, I discovered some long-forgotten methods for increasing the average yield per fisher. I put these techniques to the test, and they were even more effective than I could have dreamed. One thing I hadn't taken into account, however, is that the person with the highest number of catches is put in charge for the following season. As fate would have it, that turned out to be me. I soon found my new role to be a proverbial poison chalice, and the more experienced members rejected my every suggestion, no matter how minor. I can understand the desire to maintain the status quo, but I'm afraid that is actually the cause of a much larger problem facing our people. Citizens young and old throughout the Crystarium are suffering from a range of potentially serious illnesses. Thankfully, most of them don't appear to be contagious, though that merely serves to deepen the mystery of how they are contracted to begin with. After a considerable amount of research, I came to the conclusion that poor diet is to blame in many cases. People around here tend to eat what they want when they want, which leads to them missing vital nutrients contained in the less appetizing dishes. In other words, these conditions can be cured simply by consuming the right kinds of food. For example, eating 8-eyes eels is apparently the ideal treatment for the condition known as shadow blindness. Since the flood, many people have lost the ability to see well in the dark, what little of it there is, but it seems the disease existed long before that. This is just one of many afflictions mentioned in these ancient tomes. Most entries have a list of possible treatments, many including the names of certain fish. I intend to catch these and distribute them throughout the Crystarium. Of course, there'll never be enough for everyone unless the rest of the facet cooperates. If only they'd listen to me. To tell the truth, I feel like you're the only one who sees my side of the argument. If you were anything like the others, you'd have told me to go away by now. Would you be willing to aid me in my endeavors? Sure. You would? I don't know what to say. Perhaps I should start by making you an honorary member of the facet of fishing and giving you an assignment. If we make it official, you'll receive payment for any orders successfully fulfilled. One thing we're not short on is coin, I assure you. Before we can begin, I need to get the necessary paperwork in order, so let's meet back at the mean. I'll try to have everything ready before you arrive. Now that all the trifling details have been taken care of, you're ready to fulfill your first order. Do you remember the 8-eyes eels I mentioned earlier? Well, as it turns out, there are a few shadow blindness patients who could benefit from adding these blood-sucking nightmarish creatures to their diet. And that's where you come in. I'd like you to catch as many of these as you can. Not only will the eels themselves attempt to latch onto your flesh and drain you of your bodily fluids, the area surrounding the lake they inhabit is full of deadly predators. Naturally, they'll try to eat you as well. We fishers normally aim to have safety in numbers, but you'll be alone, I'm afraid. But I'm sure a strapping woman like you will be perfectly fine. Remember, though you'll be risking life and limb, those poor souls who struggle to see well in the dark will be overjoyed. I'm sure they will. We will do what we can. And like you said, we'll be getting 8-eye eels. It looks like we need 6 for that one. Anyways, that's all unlocked. We've got all of the Crystarium delivery locations here unlocked, so we are ready to continue on. Let's go talk with Alice here in the Crystarium. So if you're just joining us, welcome. We're happy to have you here. We're playing Shadowbringers. We just finished our battle with Titania, so we're on with continuing the rest of the story here. How are you doing today? I hope things are going okay for you. If you want, let us know down in the chat what's on your mind, what's going on with you. If you have any comments or suggestions even, please drop them there. We're happy to hear from you. Of course, if you'd prefer to just lurk and enjoy the game and the atmosphere with us, that's great too. We're just happy to have you here, so thanks.
All seems well at the Crystarium.
Yes. Yulmore was plainly more concerned with finding us. How flattering.
You certainly took your time. I had half resolved to complete the task myself.
And you are...
Were one to study the annals of Garlean history, one would find yonder visage on many a page. Though by rights its youth should long since have faded.
Well, well, we have a historian in our midst. That spares me a lengthy explanation. I am Solus Sos Galvus, founding father of the Garlean Empire, and under various guises, the architect of myriad other imperially inclined nations. As for my true identity, I am Emet Selch, Ascian.
Gaius spoke of you. A native of the Source.
Equal in rank to La Habrel. And you came all this way just to introduce yourself to us?
Behold the sky, restored to its former glory. Have you ever seen a more affecting spectacle? Oh, it is truly, deeply infuriating. Do you have any idea how much you have delayed the rejoining? Following the flood, the First had been listing ever further towards the light, towards stasis. The end was in sight. Enter man and his indomitable spirit. He would haul the world back from the brink. And adding his lumpen weight to the power of growth, he duly tipped the scales, if only by a fraction. Yet a fraction was enough to spoil the perfect imbalance needed to bring about a rejoining. Had mankind continued to live in idleness under Vorthri's rule, all the conditions would have been met. But you had to come and ruin it all. Thanks to your meddling, light supremacy is in doubt, and our painstakingly laid plans are in tatters!
Well, I should begin by thanking you for confirming Urianger's theories on the inner workings of the Calamity. He will be most pleased. As for what happens next, might I suggest you admit defeat and walk away?
Happy to let me go, are you? Because the murderous glint in your eye suggests otherwise. Indeed, it is enough to make me think better of confronting you alone. Look, it did cross my mind to simply side with Vorthri and kill you all. But that's no different from what La Habrel did. And we all know how well that ended for him. And so, while it is liable to be troublesome, I have settled upon a different approach. Cooperation. I will not raise a hand to hinder your hunt for the Light Wardens. If you desire it, I will even lend you my knowledge and strength.
Since time immemorial, you and yours have labored to rejoin the 13 shards, at the cost of countless lives. Do you expect us to believe that your objective has suddenly changed?
Nay, our objective is the same as it ever was. Though I dare say, you do not know our motive. A war waged without knowledge of the enemy is no war. It is mere bloodletting. Just once, might we not seek to find common ground? For good or ill, I am immortal. Provided I have the inclination, I can always begin anew, scheme and conspire to my heart's content. But this time I thought that I might instead try to see eye to eye, to understand what drives the hero of the source, to determine if our goals are truly incompatible. So come, shed your preconceptions. See beyond the unscrupulous villains you take us for. When all is said and done, we may find ourselves pleasantly surprised. The proud discoverers of a path of cooperation rather than opposition. Think of it.
Thou hast delivered thy proposal, and we would not dismiss it outright. If I may offer thee counsel, however, to make thy case via an illusion reflecteth poorly upon thy sincerity.
Well said, Urianger.
My apologies. You will forgive me if I'm not entirely at ease in the presence of a famed Ascian slayer. I felt it only prudent to take precautions. Nonetheless, your counsel is duly noted. I take my leave, friends. Rest assured, we shall meet again soon.
Cooperation? He can't be serious, can he? Well, we've certainly been given much to ponder, but first things first, we should report to the Exarch. You can run along, Anne. We're perfectly capable of handling this little task. In light of your recent exertions, I'd say you've earned a rest. Go on, take yourself off to bed. We'll see you later, refreshed and ready for more. Then off to the pendants for a nap, and I'm guessing another cutscene as well. Oh, first of all, let's see what we've got locally. Freedom from privilege. Is that that's 74? Okay. We're currently on 73. Ah, welcome back, miss. We've been expecting you. You will find refreshments laid out in your quarters. We hope they are to your liking. Will you be retiring now? Yes, I will. Very good, miss. I bid you a pleasant evening. What are we getting? A sandwich basket. More stuff. I hope the past few days have not been overly taxing. Pray, take your rest and recover.
From the Exarch, is it?
With that mirror of his, he can watch your every move, you know. He'll probably think you're talking to yourself. Still, he's keeping you well fed. Judging by his people's faith in him, he seems to be a decent sort. But so much about him remains shrouded in mystery. Like, what was he doing back in my day? There was no such person when I was around. A lot's happened since the flood, though. Since I was set adrift. I know little more than you do of this city's history in the Exarch's past. Not that it matters. It's Emet Selch we should be concerned about. When our world was about to be consumed by light, the Ascian in white appeared before us. He said that the only way for us to live on was to bring about the rejoining.
Oh, hey, Blitz, welcome. Good to see you here with us. How are you doing today?
Desperate as we were, we heeded his words, not realizing that the flood was of the Ascian's own making. They cannot be trusted. None of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, you take care of yourself. We certainly appreciate you thinking of us. I hope you have a good sleep then.
But Emet Selch had one thing right. One should not fight blindly. That's what we did. And it cost us everything we held dear.
Not everything.
You mean Seto? Well, that's... I suppose you're right. He's done some growing. When we were traveling together, he was nowhere near as big. And he obviously couldn't speak. I had no idea how much that medallion meant to him. What about you, anyway? You must have a friend like Seto? Chocobo, perhaps? Come on, you tell me something for a change.
See what other titles I've got here I might want to set here. Let's see. Hey, Touch, that was the last one. Let's go with that one for a bit. Alright, what are we getting? Ooh, eye level 403 now. Okay. Level 74 quest. Okay. Good evening to you, miss. I do hope you are well rested. The Exarch and your companions are presently gathered in the ocular. He asks that you convene with them at your earliest convenience. Sounds good, and since we're level 74 story, I'm going to go ahead and pick up our level 74 class quest here. There she is, Anne, come to rejoin her bosom companion in the great hunt. It is well that you have, for I have obtained new information concerning a sighting of Andrea on Calusia. The fiend has transformed yet another deadly mark, a great bear in this instance, into an even deadlier eater. And so it falls to Reek and Anne to slay the newborn eater and continue their pursuit of Norvrant's most notorious virtue, to Calusia and to glory. Head out and do that. Get that out of the way and continue on with the main story. Let us brook no further delay and commence our search, separately as before in Amarang. If you catch the eater first, I grant you leave to kill it without me. I trust you will not be disappointed if the reverse were to occur? Surely not, surely not. I myself will be most put out if I happen to lose to you a second time, and so, on that note, may the best hunter win. Search for a bear-like sin-eater. We are nearly 10 levels above all these monsters down here now. There's a glowy purple event point there. Let's go ahead and get Alberto out here. Survey your surroundings, but find no trace of the bear you seek. Okay. Despite looking far and wide, you fail to find any trace of the bear you seek. Perhaps Lurik was indeed the better hunter this day. Yeah, that's possible. We'll take a look-see over here and see what we've got going on. Hate to say it, Anne, but it seems we're too late to the party. Lambert and his mates slew the bear before we could. So it's true then. You've cast your lot in with the boy. You poor daft sod. But I don't understand. The eater was a newborn. How could you possibly have learned of it and gotten here before we did? Well, see, that's the problem with relying on hired help. They're loyal to your coin, not you. And you're not the only one willing to open his purse. But more importantly, Reek, what's this I hear about you hunting Andrea? With help, I mean, rather than all by your lonesome. I have a distinct memory of you storming off in a huff saying you didn't need me or anyone else to finish the job. Tell me I'm wrong. Do as you like, help or no, you've no chance of beating me to the prize, because unlike you, I'm not all talk, and neither are me mates. Speaking of mates, how much did it cost you to buy her friendship? Do tell. Piss off, Lambert. Why are you still here? You got your mark, didn't you? You should choose your friends more carefully, sinner. When it all goes wrong, don't say I didn't warn you. You have questions, I'm sure. As you may have surmised, Landbird was once a comrade of mine. I took him into my service that we might hone our skills battling Sin Eaters in preparation for facing Andrea. However, as I soon came to see that he was not all that capable of a hunter, and so I dissolved our working relationship. Unfortunately, he did not take it in stride and instead resolved to recruit new companions that he might beat me at my own game. It would seem that his fortunes have improved greatly of late, so much so that I fear we can no longer afford to dedicate time to tracking lesser eaters and must devote our undivided attention to the pursuit of Andrea. As such, we should be getting back to the Crystarium, but before we depart, I have one other matter to attend to in Yulmore. If I might trouble you to accompany me, but of course you will. Let us be off. Yeah, we can't port in there yet. Thought I could get up there somewhere. There it is. The understory, canopy, alright. Over there, save us a little bit of running maybe. Not that much, I guess, but a little perhaps. And allow me to introduce you to my father and mother. Father, this is my traveling companion and dear friend, Anne. She and I have resolved to hunt a particularly deadly sin eater. Indeed, I cannot overstate how terribly dangerous this eater is, that to pursue it is to court death itself. However, when we at last triumph over the fiend, all of Norvrant shall sing our praises. Won't that be wonderful, Father? So long as you do not sully our good name, you are free to hunt whatever quarry you desire. I can do without all the petty details. Now then, how much do you require this time? Out with it. Oh, never mind. Just give the boy my coin purse, would you? I'm sure it will suffice for his trivial pursuits. That is why you are here, is it not? Another handout? Don't play coy. You've never been any good at it. You know, I honestly don't know why I came here. Keep your coin, Father. We're leaving, Anne, right now. All right, so back to the Crystarium then. Forgive me, Anne, but I would forego the wine on this occasion. Father's lackluster reception has put me in rather dour spirits. As you may have gathered from our exchange, I am a free citizen of Yulmore. Owing to my parents' considerable wealth, I have enjoyed a relatively privileged upbringing. Privileged and unbearably boring, which is why I quit the city and resolved to become a bounty hunter. I am no fool, though. I am well aware of my fortunate circumstances, which is why I elected to conceal them from the people of the Crystarium. People are wont to jump to uncharitable conclusions. I feel as though you and I have established a rapport, though, and so I thought it best to bring you into my confidence. I pray you refrain from telling others. Now then, since Lambert has decided to turn this into a race, we have no choice but to oblige him and slay Andrea before he does. This calls for a veritable army of hired hands. Alas, in a fit of frustration, I refused Father's coin. Without additional resources, we have no choice but to conduct the search by ourselves. Moreover, I am rather embarrassed to admit that I can pay you only a token sum at this time. But I trust that will not deter you from joining me anon? I was never in this for the guild. Really? I mean, of course you weren't. Perish the thought. The next one is 76. I'll go ahead and start that one. We just won't follow up on it until later. And, my friend, thank the gods you're here. Ever since we parted ways, I've been exhausting myself, running all over the Crystarium, questioning anyone and everyone, hoping someone might have seen Andrea, but alas. So you haven't gone outside even for a bit? Well, of course. Surely this is the limit of what a man with meager financial resources can accomplish. But never mind all that, for it but recently dawned on me that the vision you beheld of Rendare's past could hold the clues for which we have been desperately searching. When you first described it to me, I felt as though I had heard it before, and I had. My wet nurse had told me the exact same story when I was still a boy. It was a tale of a courageous hunter who, together with her comrades, embarked on a quest to slay a notorious mark, a great horned beast. They came upon their quarry in a desert, and there attempted to lay it low. Alas, the beast had a singular strength and the hunter a fatal weakness, and so, in the ensuing struggle, her comrades were killed, leaving her, the sole survivor, to swear vengeance. Would you not agree that your vision is a perfect match for this tale? sure. Then there can be no doubt. Ray is the celebrated hunter, the hero I so admired in my childhood. After that tragic day, the hunter resolved not to rely upon others and instead slew the beast by herself. She somehow found a way to compensate for her weakness. Anyway, my recollection of the tale is likely riddled with errors. We should ask Miss Olvara to recount it in full. She was a bounty hunter herself before she entered into our service, you know. Also, in light of all this, I should share with you an interesting theory concerning all the virtues I heard from a fellow hunter. Apparently, each appears to be driven by particular memories, moments that forever changed each of these fallen heroes. Makes sense, doesn't it? Ray being a hunter of notorious marks in life and in death, I don't know why it never occurred to me before. But if that is indeed the reason for why she behaves as she does, then the more we learn about Ray's adventures, the better our chances of predicting where she'll turn up. All the more reason to go and see my former wet nurse. Miss Olvara lives in Gate Town on Calusia. Let us be off then. Maybe later. Alright, so let's head over to the Ocular next and continue our story.
Ah, there you are. You're just in time to welcome our guest.
Please, did I not explicitly tell you that we would be meeting again soon? Lest you forget, I made you a promise. I have no intention of meddling with your mission. I come only to observe. Your Exarch friend in particular has piqued my curiosity. Summoning you all like that. Most impressive.
You honestly expect us to believe you've come only to observe? Or that you might deign to lift a finger to aid our cause if called upon? Even if there were a sliver of truth in your words, I would never accept your help. Not in my darkest hour. Not after all the suffering your kind has wrought.
So petty. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Wage your war against the Sin Eaters, put each and every Light Warden to the sword, prove yourselves heroes, brave and true, and I will be glad to embrace you as allies. Allies worthy of bearing the burden of truth. Surely such a partnership would be preferable to yet another round of fisticuffs. And thus did the olive branch wither and die. Pity. Well, let no man say I did not try, futile as it was. Though I suspect you will seek me out when you grow tired of making the same mistakes. Difficult decisions lie ahead of you. Decisions best made with the benefit of knowledge to which only the Eternal are privy. For now, I shall resume my shadowy vigil. Whatever you choose to do, make sure it's worth watching, would you?
What was that all about?
A vain attempt to make us doubt our chosen course, most like. As if we'd believe a word that passed his lips. Unless you think there is some truth in what he says.
I don't know, but if he crosses us, I'll make him wish he hadn't.
I'm sure you will. But consider for a moment. If he meant simply to lead us astray, he could have done so without revealing himself. At least, not in the manner he did. It goes without saying that an alliance with the Scions is out of the question. But since we have no way of knowing where they might be hiding, it seems only logical to press on with our mission, even if our enemy seems content for it to succeed.
Then let us discuss the Sin Eaters. I would begin by thanking you all for your efforts thus far. In striking down the Light Wardens of Lakeland and Ilmeg, you have accomplished more in your short time here than all of our forces managed in the last century.
That may be, but the Wardens of Calusia, Armarang, and Rak'Tika remain.
Indeed, and their precise whereabouts are as yet unknown. Which is why I propose we divide our forces and conduct a systematic survey of each region. Once we have found our quarry, we may then determine how best to proceed.
I'll take Armarang in that case. I know the lie of the land well enough.
If there are no objections, I will make for Calusia. I have connections there both in and around Yulmore that may prove useful.
Then I would ask that you journey to Rak'Tika. There you will find Y'shtola. With her assistance, I doubt the Warden will evade your grasp for long.
Is Y'shtola the conjurer you and Urianger used to talk about?
That's right. Though we haven't spoken much since she left for the forest.
I fear I may be to blame for that. I had every intention of relaying the news of your arrival, but she is disinclined to speak with me. You have visited her, have you not? Might I trouble you to...
'Twould be no trouble.
My thanks. While you are all out in the field, I shall be here attending to business. I had somewhat fancifully contemplated joining the search myself, but other matters demand my attention.
What's that?
A missive from Lord Vorthry. He invites me to join him in Yulmore to discuss the recent conflict at Lida Luran.
And? Did he even bother to offer any bait? It's obviously a trap.
I should be surprised if it were not. Nevertheless, I must seize this opportunity to speak with him, even if only a few words are exchanged. Though my power will be much diminished so far from the tower, it is a risk I am willing to take. Master Alphinaud, might I impose upon you to accompany me to Yulmore prior to beginning your reconnaissance?
Of course.
Then let us make ready. Safe travels to you all.
Before you leave, I would make a request of you. There is a church, or rather, the ruins of a church, at Fort Job. Might I ask that you go there before seeking out Y'shtola? It was a place where people once gathered to worship the light. Alas, it has long since fallen into disuse. Yet within that hall there remains a tablet whose writings I believe may prove of use to Y'shtola. At the very least, such a relic would make a suitable gift for your reunion. A most considerate proposal. Very well. Ere we depart to Rak'Tika, we shall journey unto Fort Job that we might secure this relic. All right, well, let's head over there then. Here amidst these ruins we will find the Church of the First Light, and within that hallowed hall the tablet we seek. Time is of the essence, my friend. Let us be quick. Some new headgear. I'm gonna go ahead and glamour everything back again. At the height of Lakeland's prosperity, these sites served not as man's final bastion, but as testament to his ingenuity and architectural prowess. The Church of the First Light was responsible for many such marvels, building majestic chapels in every corner of the realm. Alas, the flood, with its inexorable tides, would drown nigh every one, and did all but put an end to the religion as a whole. For the creatures which then did rise from that fulgent deluge were seen as agents of divine punishment sent to devour sin and sinner both, whence came the name of Sin Eater. The people were lost, seemingly forsaken by their God. Yet where there is light, there hath ever been shade, and 'twas in the dark they sought solace. The most devout of these worshippers of shadow did then migrate to the Rak'Tika Greatwood, but that is a tale for another time. For now, let us find what remaineth of the chapel here. Survey, 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 survey says. Aye, this is indeed the church we seek. It's surprisingly intact. What little is left of the churches I've seen until now has always borne the scars of decades of disuse. Its subterranean construction hath done much to protect the hall from the ravages of time, yet the reason for its remarkable preservation may be deduced from its decoration. As faith in the light did wane, so rose reverence for the dark. And its followers did want for places of worship. To be plain, the standards which do adorn these walls belong not to those who built them, but to worshippers of the dark, the Knights Blessed, who subsequently migrated to Rak'Tika, yes? Indeed. 'Twas beneath the shaded boughs of the Rak'Tika Greatwood that they finally found sanctuary. Oft and many times did Yulmore make spurious overtures of friendship unto them, but they are no fools. The Exarch knoweth full well that Y'shtola in her seclusion doth labor to learn all she may of the blessed and their past. 'Tis why he sent us here, now I see. The tablet of which he spoke no doubt provideth a glimpse into the history that she so yearneth to comprehend. Well then, we'd better hurry up and find it. Search our surroundings. Located the time-worn tablet. Within the altar, thou sayest? Naught escapeth thine eye, 'twould seem. This is indeed the tablet we seek. Curious, these engravings predate the Knights Blessed. If I am not mistaken, they are writ in the script of the ancient empire of Rak'Tika, whose capital once stood in the midst of what is now Rak'Tika. 'Twill be no small matter to decipher them. A fine gift for our seeker of truth. 'Tis plain the Exarch understandeth Y'shtola only too well. But come, let us quit this place and make ready for our journey into the woods. Yeah, getting some new leg gear. Ere we depart, there is a custom of the Knights Blessed which I feel compelled to elucidate. As one might expect, they deem light to be abhorrent, and everything it touches befouled. Thus do they take the utmost pains to protect all they can from its taint, including their very names. To speak plain, it is the belief of the Blessed that one's own name must ne'er be uttered in the light of the everlasting day. Yet this commandment precludeth not the use of another's. Thus do parents protect their children, and in rare cases masters their disciples. So it is that Y'shtola hath taken the name of Master Matoya. Lest we offend them, I bid you speak not her true name in the Blessed's present. With that in mind, let us speak with the guard who keepeth vigil at the Great Wood's border. Well met, traveler. What business brings you here? We want to go to the Great Wood. Yes, of course, right this way.
No matter how far he goes, man cannot resist looking back on the path he has walked. The untold stories and secrets of the past can be more alluring than the promise of tomorrow. And so he braves the forests of Rak'Tika in search of mystery and wonder. Of Ronka, to which all seekers of hidden truths are inevitably drawn.
We have arrived. Vast though these woods may be, they are, by and large, uninhabitable. Not so the swamps of Scythia, however, whose sparse foliage permitted man a foothold.
No lands must remain beyond our grasp. Go forth, conquer, rule!
Forgive me. A sudden pang of nostalgia for those halcyon days. Exploring virgin territories, subjugating primitive peoples,
All for the glory of Garlemald.
If you've brought your ivory standard, I'll be happy to tell you where to stick it.
Can we not simply take a moment to enjoy the view together? Or would you rather I spied on you from the shadows? Much more of this, and I may very well begin to regret my show of good faith.
If you really want to stay, then help us fight.
No, I think not. I am an observer, nothing more. Even shielded by the shadows of these boughs, I feel the light's presence most keenly. To accompany you is taxing enough. To fight is out of the question.
I will suffer your company if I must, but not your commentary.
His plain our Ascian counterpart meaneth to follow wheresoever we lead. Were it otherwise, he would not suffer the overabundance of light in these woods. Verily, it pervadeth every corner, and so long as the Light Warden remaineth, the Sin-Eaters shall be free to prey upon these lands without surcease. If naught is done, 'tis but a matter of time before the blessed succumb. 2 years past, a swarm of Sin-Eaters did lay waste unto their largest settlement, killing a great many of their priests in so doing. Though some few did survive, they knew not how to go on, wayward souls in want of a guiding hand. For a mercy, Ishtola hath provided that which they sorely needed. They have since endeavored to restore their home, and thither shall we bend our steps, to Fort Goem. Keeping an eye out for hunt marks that we might need to complete here. There it is. Our first ether current for this area.
I see little sign of recent activity, nor hath any meaningful progress been made with the reconstruction. Mayhap Y'shtola sought shelter elsewhere. Come, let us quit this place.
Now! Surround them!
These Sin-Eaters, they're not like the others.
There's a reason for that. Lower your weapons, please. We mean you no harm.
How is it they can speak?
It's a Sin-Eater trick. They mean to kill us all.
Kupo?
That will seem a lot less amusing when we are forced to kill them.
Oh, for the love of... I had hoped that by accompanying you, we might come to understand one another. But all I have come to understand is that you have a knack for inflaming the natives. You've committed the cardinal sin of boring me. And so I retire to the shade. Good luck.
There! Did you see that one disappear?
I think I preferred La Habrea.
Enough. Runard, report.
Master Matoya! We apprehended them as you ordered, but are you certain these are Sin Eaters?
The intense light of the ether I saw was unmistakable. If not Sin Eaters, then what?
'Tis passing queer that Y'shtola should mistake us for the enemy, is it not? Mayhap it hath been too long since last she beheld the radiance of thine ether. Master Matoya, hath time truly made strangers of us?
Nay, I recognize you, Urianger, Thancred. And this is Minfilia of the First, of whom you spoke before.
Just so. And knowing as thou must that we come in peace, might I prevail upon thee to have thy comrades lower their arms?
First explain this other presence in your company. The one I know not. There is but one manner of creature in this world whose ether is suffused with such an abundance of light.
Mine apologies, Master Matoya, but thou art mistaken. Before thee standeth our dearest comrade, the truest hero among us. Though she is but recently arrived here in the First, not one but 2 Light Wardens have already perished by her most puissant hand.
It cannot be.
Nice to see you too, Master Matoya.
Master Matoya?
Lower your weapons. Forgive us this hostile welcome. Come. I would give you a proper introduction to Rak'Tika and its people.
You have been busy since arriving in the First, I gather, but I would hear the tale of your travails in more suitable surroundings. With Fort Gone yet to be rebuilt, the Knights Blessed have made their home in a settlement to the northeast. I will await you at its entrance. Follow the path through yonder gate, and you will find me soon enough. There you are. I was beginning to worry. Much like the Twelves would, this forest has a way of dealing with those who stray too far from the beaten path. But I digress. Let me show you the home of the Knights Blessed.
Slitherbow is the largest of the blessed settlements. They worship no gods, instead revering darkness itself. It is a curious kind of faith, but one which has granted them the strength to persevere in the wake of the flood. I hope you weren't expecting a grand feast by way of welcome. They are a simple people. Now, I would hear of your travels away from prying ears. Come. I see. And now you seek the Light Warden of Rak'Tika. In the days after I arrived in the First, I too relied upon the Crystal Exarch for guidance. But his penchant for secrecy and the telling of half-truths soon lost him my trust. And thus did I strike out on my own. My work eventually led me here to the forest, which I've come to know like the back of my hand. I cannot say with certainty where your quarry is hiding, but I am confident I can narrow the search.
Well, go on then.
Some few thousand years ago, this forest stood at the heart of the Empire of Ronka. A great many relics of that civilization can still be found to the east in Ixmaya. Or rather, could be found, were the area not fiercely guarded. Ixmaya, you see, is home to a tribe of warriors whose lineage is said to date back to the time of the Empire. Any attempt to enter their territory is met with lethal force. They offer no warnings, and suffer no trespasser to escape. Needless to say, my every attempt to survey the area has been thwarted.
Mayhap the Warden hideth there, full knowing none may approach it for fear of these protectors.
As for the tablet, I find the timing of its discovery suspiciously convenient. If I did not know better, I would think someone was trying to curry favor with me. Regardless, it will take time to decipher these writings. Yet I would not be at all surprised if they somehow held the key to entering Ixmaya unmolested. The Exarch has a nose for serendipity.
If there is aught I can do to assist thee in unraveling their secrets, thou needst only ask.
Thank you, Urianger. I may well take you up on that offer. While we set to work, might I suggest you take a tour of the city? Should you be in any doubt as to the importance of your role as the Warrior of Darkness, the people here will surely cure you of it.
I must say, Stola,
While most of us have struggled to come to terms with our altered circumstances, you seem to have adapted rather well.
Lest you forget, Master Matoya and I dedicated our lives to uncovering the truth which hides at the heart of our world. Though separate, the fate of this reflection is nevertheless bound to that of our home. That I would be daunted by such an invaluable opportunity is absurd. But what of you, Thancred? Could it be that you are still struggling to come to terms with the nature of your young companion?
My struggles are none of your concern. Quite why you would speak thus and in this company, I do not know. Perhaps you left more of yourself back in the source than I assumed. If you'll excuse me.
He understands that I'm not the same. That I'm not her.
Understands, perhaps, but does not accept. The question being whether he ever will. And whether you will, more importantly. As difficult as your circumstances may be, they are yours, not his. 'Tis you and you alone who bears ultimate responsibility for your life. But you need not make any hard choices now. Why not go and get some fresh air, clear your head?
Now we're level 80. We don't have that road to 80 buff anymore now, so we won't be leveling up terribly much, or at least no more than normal as we would from level 80 on here. Let's see, we got some new gear, some Blue Spirit leg gear. I think I may go ahead and just switch to Dancer here. Get them to level 80. So we can make a decision who to continue on with for the next expansion. I'm not indifferent to Thancred's troubles. Nevertheless, I will not apologize for holding him to a higher standard after all these years. He has ever been a man of considerable resolve, and that is what I will continue to expect. Though it heartens me to know that some of us remain ourselves in spite of our present circumstances. But I can but imagine how Alice and Alphino have changed since arriving here in the first. Change is part of life. We can but hope it's change for the better. You're right, and after my untoward remarks to Thancred, no doubt he thinks I changed for the worst. I will have to speak with him later. Returning to the matter at hand, I really must begin work on deciphering this tablet. In the meantime, perhaps you should take a look about Slitherborough. If there is anything you need, pray speak with Runar at the plaza. Got my chocobo on a different spot there. And I still need to tag the Aetheryte and the Amaro Keep here. Welcome, friend, welcome. My apologies for our less than hospitable greeting earlier. Tell me, what is your name? From where do you hail? I'm an adventurer from the same place as the Crystal Exarch. From the Crystarium, I see, and this tablet you've brought may help us find the Light Warden here in Rak'Tika? Well, you are welcome to stay with us for as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. Would it be all right if I joined you? Of course, anything for the guests of our dear Master Matoya. Thank you. She means a great deal to the Knights Blessed, doesn't she? If not for her, we may have all perished in the Great Fire. With our priests slain and our home in ruins, we were at the mercy of the Sin Eaters. It was she who drove them back, and with her sage guidance we were able to rebuild. Before long, she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within whose shadow many have come to find solace. That is not to say there were not those hesitant to grant an outsider such authority, myself included. Perhaps it is the smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again now that she is with us, and I have no doubt the others feel the same. She is as much a part of the Knights Blessed as any of us, and we are grateful for all she does in service to the dark. But you did not hear this from me, yes? Now, you should know there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to so long as they reside within Slitherbow. To show reverence to the dark? In a word, yes, but fear not, it is not too involved. Let us begin with something simple. Follow me. Should you see any of our people come to this chamber, they have likely returned from a journey beyond the borders of Rak'Tika. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of the light's impurity. A simple and perhaps peculiar custom, but it is one of our most important. Would you two kneel for just a moment that I might rid you of the light's impurity? Okay, time to kneel before Runar. I think I did, or maybe I need to be right up there on him. There we go. I guess I didn't have him targeted. As Runar lightly sprays you with water, your skin begins to tingle. And with that, you have been cleansed of the light's blighted touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has this water been treated in some way? Only blessed by our priests, they are practiced in the arcane arts. As such, it is said their prayers imbue the water with a faint dark energy. A prickling sensation? No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water should have no discernible effect. Unless... By the gods, Master Matoya was right. You are Sin Eaters. I jest. What you felt was likely no more than the chill of the water. Perhaps now would be a good time for you to acquaint yourselves with the people of Slitherbow. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alan Tuta. In the language of Ronka, it is one of several ways one might say, good evening. The world is not as safe as it once was, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or a gesture we should know too? I would hate to offend anyone. You need not worry. Merely speak the words Alan Tuta, and they will know you as friends of the blessed. I will await your return here. Now go. They are like to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. And we have to say Alan Tuta to some folks here. Say, whoops, well, didn't mean to do that. I got my mouse focus in the wrong spot there. Wait for that lag to die down there. I don't know why that happens. All right, say, what's up, y'all? Alan Tuta. The elderly woman smiles warmly. What's up, y'all? Alan Tuta. Too far away. Ah, newly come traveler. Alan Chisi, and welcome to Slitherbow. You must forgive us if we seem strangely reserved. We are a quiet and taciturn people. Silent and serene as the sunless sea. The quiet makes it easy to discern the presence of eaters and other dangers here in the woods. What's up, y'all? Alan Tuta. Alan Chasi, welcome, friend. I take it you will remain in these woods for some time, yes? Be wary of these woods. You will find poison in near everything you see, but fear not. Our medicinal tea will keep you healthy. Ask, and it is yours. High level 381 for a dancer, so that's pretty decent. Everyone was so kind and gracious. I was nervous at first, but already I'm starting to feel at home. There is still much I have to learn about the Knights Blessed, but their faith and strength of will is nothing short of inspiring. I can see how they built such a thriving community. Ah, you are returned. Very good. No doubt they were glad of your company. It has been too long since we have had visitors. Remember, if you have any questions or there is anything you need, do not hesitate to ask. Speaking of which, we must arrange food and lodgings for your stay. As friends of Master Matoya, we cannot ask for payment, but if you would be willing to lend a hand, it would be my pleasure. We are fortunate indeed to play host to such generous souls. The task I have in mind is simple enough. All I ask is that you take a jug and water the crops in the square. May I help too? Of course. One of you can do the filling and the other the watering. Speak with Ursabel when you have finished. She will be relieved to hear the crops have been tended to. While you take care of that, I will see to your room and a warm meal. Right then, I'll fill, you water. This was the only jug I could find which was small enough to lift, but I'm afraid there's a crack in the bottom. You'll need to hurry to the garden before all the water leaks out. Take the jug of water before the contents leak out. 45 seconds. All right, well, let's go then. When there's an ether current quest we'll get to do too, it looks like. Watered half the plot. Let's go grab another one. Was there enough water for the plot? Not exactly. Only half, I see. Well, let me refill the jug for you. Another jug. Only 30 seconds this time. Okay. Maybe the crack's getting bigger on us or something. They really need to fix that pot. If they can. The whole plot has now been thoroughly watered. Awesome. Hey, I watered the plot. Well met, travelers. I observed you earlier speaking with the others. Have you need of something? Alantuda. You watered the crops. Ah, my apologies for not noticing sooner. I have been rather distracted of late. Watering the crops was always Todia's duty, but she is no longer with us. We have since taken to sharing the duty, though never with guests. You are most kind. Is there anything else we can do to help? We could plant something if you like. There's no need. The plot is small, it is true, but it provides us with enough to survive. We ask for no more. I don't know how you manage. Have the Blessed not considered leaving? Life would surely be easier almost anywhere else. I can understand why you might say that, but the easiest path is not always the right one. Tell me, do you know our history? How our faith came to be? Yes, I believe so. The Knights Blessed was initially formed by those who lost their homes in the wake of the flood. What began as an occasional gathering of survivors eventually grew into a community, which ultimately decided to strike out on its own in the Rak'Tika Greatwood. I see you have read your history, but there is a history that is told and one that is lived. Like so many in those times, the first of the Knights Blessed lost everything, their homes, their loved ones, all they held dear. To make matters worse, none could say what became of the souls of those lost to the flood when their bodies were reborn as sin-eaters. The people were without answers, without hope, their gods having drowned along with everything else. It seemed that nothing was beyond the reach of the light. But soon they realized that where there is light, there must be darkness. And in that truth they found new faith, a belief that the souls of the departed could yet find peace beyond these burning skies in the sunless sea above. That is why we pray, for the safe passage of wayward souls unto that blessed black abyss, for the return of the night, that we might someday look upon the kingdom of heaven with our own eyes. We remain in these woods for the selfsame reason our founders first chose them, that we may lead lives of simplicity with the shade of these trees as a constant reminder of our faith. With so many seeking paradise in Yulemoor, it's refreshing to find people who value a humbler existence. You are kind to say so. Many consider our way of life foolish, and so it must seem to those who yet cling to their worldly possessions. In times such as these, when everything can be taken away in an instant, it is all too easy to lose sight of why we fight to go on living. It is not to hold fast to material things, but to hold those who went before us in our hearts, to keep alive the legacy they have left us. This we must do for them, our children, and generations yet unborn. To keep their legacy alive. Done tending to the crops already? Very good. It should not be long before your room is ready. Runar! In the woods. Sin-eaters. I fear they may have the touch. Where? In the grove to the southwest. For a mercy, they've yet to wander any closer to Slitherbough. Then we have no need to engage. Inform the guard that no one is to set foot outside the village until they have moved on. But sir, what of Todia's heartstone? It must be retrieved before the service. Of all the times for sin-eaters to appear, are you just going to leave them alone? Under normal circumstances, we would not hesitate in striking the beasts down, but if they indeed have the touch, I will not risk them corrupting one of our own. What was that you said about a stone? A few days past, Todia, a child of the Knights Blessed, was slain by the Sin-Eaters. We succeeded in retrieving the body, but in our haste we failed to notice her necklace was gone. Strung to it was a pendant of jade, her heartstone. All of the Knights Blessed are given such a stone at birth. It is the most valuable possession one can own. It is custom to present the heartstone of the deceased at their funeral as an offering to the heavens, but now... What if I could find it for you? I have experience fighting Sin Eaters, and the light's corruption does not touch me like it does others. Master Matoya called you Menphilia, did she not? Are you truly the Menphilia? Descended from the Oracle? Even so, I dare not ask you to risk your life for the Blessed. I understand how you feel, but I can't stand by knowing that your people are in need and I can help. Please, let me do this. Very well, but if the danger proves too great, you must retreat. I could never forgive myself if we were forced to hold a second service. I nearly forgot about Thancred. What if he returns before I do? Don't worry, I'll come with you. Thank you. With you at my side, I'm certain we can deal with them in no time at all. Go swiftly, and may the shadows keep you both. Let's pick up this Ether quest, Ether current quest. You're the guest Master Matoya was telling us about. Please, you have to help me. I've searched high and low, but I can't find my friend Carnes anywhere. I fear he's run off to Fort Gone again. It's where we grew up, but it was abandoned years ago after the Sin Eaters attacked. The place is teeming with all manner of beasts now, and Master Matoya has expressly forbidden anyone from setting foot there. I don't know what's gotten into him lately, but we have to find him before he gets hurt. If you should find him first, you'll want to tell him our password. Tuktu. He's the skittish sort, so don't delay in telling him so he'll know you mean no harm. That's the only one there. Well, I keep hitting that one because that's where my Choco is on Reaper. Alright, let's go out and knock out these two then. There, the Sin Eaters. I was hoping there would only be one. There's no way we can search for the stone without dealing with them first. Let's get to it then. Hey, Wally! Good to see you. Good morning. Yeah. How are you doing today? What? Shouldn't we make a plan first? Though there are only two. Doing great. Awesome. Yeah, actually, I should have stopped in last night on your stream. I was finishing up for the night and I saw you just started streaming, but I went ahead and went to bed. So sorry about that. I should have dropped in to say hi. I will next time if I catch you just before I'm going to sleep. I'll draw one of them away. You can deal with the other. Alright, let's get our bird out here. That one. And this other guy is over here somewhere too, I think. We'll find Minfilia. Oh, there he is. Stay away, I beg of you. Oh, I gotta say tuck-to to him. You're from Slitherbow. Barthon must have sent you then. I was fine until that damn beetle. It's only a scratch, but I'm starting to feel numb and my vision's grown clouded. Worst of all, I dropped my only vial of serum somewhere in these damned woods. Could you find it for me? Oh, you didn't have a great time? Too tired? Oh, sorry to hear that. I know what you mean, though. I'd get up in the morning sometimes wishing I could have slept more before I started playing, too. Just duck through here if we can. And... there you are. It's done, though I fear I was a bit careless. I'll do better next time, I promise. I'm fine. You needn't worry about me. More importantly, we have to find that Heartstone. They said it was made of jade, right? I'll search over there in the brush. You brush away the leaves and uncover a brilliant green gem. All right. Yeah, this song is from the game, actually. Yeah. It's the daytime song for this zone. And we'll go progress on our ether current quest here. Just have to run out this way a little bit. Let's see, where's the nearest? The next one here, we found one over here earlier. 526 to the northeast. There you are. Did you find it? Yes, I did. I guess you got to look at it for a minute here before you continue. Thank you. I should be fine now after a bit of rest. What were you thinking coming back here? You could have been killed. I had to, Barthon, for my father. So then there's one down. There's that giant sin eater over there, I guess she took down. Did you have any luck? Yeah, here's a jade heartstone. It's beautiful. This has to be it. You know, Thancred always said you were a woman of many talents, and I think I'm beginning to understand what he meant. I have much to learn if I'm to be even half the hero you are. The hero she was. I'm sorry. Forget I said anything. We should hurry back to Slitherbow. Runar and the others are probably worried. Thank goodness you are safe. I had begun to fear the worst. By all that is dark, you found it. We can proceed with our service as planned. These blessed gems serve not only to protect us in life, but to guide our spirits unto the sunless sea in the hereafter. Even should we be felled by the Sin Eaters, so long as these gems are recovered, our souls are ensured peace in the dark. Get some more gear, which I think I'd better put on Reaper, I guess. Words fail to express my gratitude for this kindness you have done for the Blessed. I must insist you and your friends attend Todia's service as honored guests. There is still much we must do to prepare, but please go and inform the others it will be held in the darker. When you arrive, there should be an attendant present to explain the proceedings. Anne and I learned so much about the Knights Blessed while you were away, and we helped them recover a lost heirloom out in the woods. I know I wasn't supposed to leave, but they really needed our help. There were Sin Eaters, and as long as she accompanied you. But do try to be more careful. Your injuries could have been a lot worse. How did you... Let's just say a little bird told me, and it's telling me now that Anne has business with us. Is something the matter? They've asked us to attend the service. Of course we'll go. It's being held in the darker, is it? We'll take care not to be late, I promise. The elderly woman hands you a candle. She then points over at a nearby corner where you might place it.
It seemed only right that we show our faces. May we join you?
Let us begin. I thank you all for coming to pay respects to our fallen daughter of the night. In the light, she was known as Titania, but in the dark, we shall remember her always as Menine. Let us each take a moment to offer her our prayers. We entrust her now to the night's sweet embrace. In darkness will she be free from pain and suffering, now and forevermore. May her soul find peace in the sunless sea of heaven, and in the love we bear for her in our hearts.
That vessel represents the night sky, the sunless sea of heaven.
Call upon you now, O bringer of shadow, to lead this gentle soul unto the sea. We call upon you, O warrior of darkness, to deliver her unto paradise everlasting.
I am told you assisted in the preparations for the service. On behalf of the Blessed, you have my sincerest thanks. The enduring legend of the Warrior of Darkness owes much to the traditions of these people. And none were more ardent in their faith than Titania. She would have been greatly moved by your presence.
I should like to have met her.
You might not deliver her to the heavens, but if you could deliver the night sky to her people, the real night sky, it would be the next best thing. Their prayers would finally be answered. They could gaze up at the firmament and see their ancestors in every twinkle of the stars. We cannot allow their hopes and dreams to drown in the light. We have to bring back the dark. If we don't, who will? Forgive me, thinking of all those we have lost.
No, it's all right. We will bring back the dark.
Mayhaps sooner than later, in fact. Urianger and I finished deciphering the tablet, and its contents were most illuminating. Let us reconvene in my chambers. We have much to discuss.
Good, you're here. Thanks to the Exarch's gift, our next course of action is now clear. Good, there's some stuff I can wear from other things that we got. Awesome, very nice. Let me begin by first explaining the origins of this tablet. I initially believed it might detail the history of the Church of the First Light. Much to my surprise, it dates back to the end of the Ronkan Empire and was likely written under the direction of the reigning ruler. It was a time of strife and unceasing war with neighboring nations. With each passing day, they yielded more and more territory to their enemies. In their desperation, petitions for aid were sent out to their allies. This was one such petition. And you think this ancient petition will somehow help us get into XIV? Indeed we do. For etched into this tablet is a method by which one may prove himself an ally of the Ronkan Empire. Provided we are able to decipher said instructions, we may entreat the ruins protectors to grant us safe passage. The problem, however, is I presently lack the resources to decipher them in their entirety. We have but one recourse. There exists a stone monument inscribed with ancient Ronkan text and translations into a more modern dialect, which came into use after the fall of the Empire. I am confident it will suit our purposes. Where can we find this monument? Here in Titania, quite close to Slitherbow, in fact. The good news ends there, however, for it is in the possession of a rather radical faction of dark worshippers, the Children of the Everlasting Dark. If I am to study the monument, I must infiltrate their encampment. I have no intention of taking longer than absolutely necessary, but I will nevertheless require time to transcribe the text I need. To ensure that I will have enough, I am afraid I must ask you and Thancred to assist me. No problem. And before you even ask, the answer is no. If we're to remain unseen, our group must be as small as possible. All right, I'll stay here until you return. We won't be long. If anything should happen, you keep her safe. Then let us convene outside, to the west of Slitherbow where the path diverges. The encampment we seek is to the north, but it would be foolish to simply rush in. A guard has been posted at Cleric to keep watch over the children. Perhaps he has aught to share of their recent activity. But we must tread carefully. There is a chance we may encounter them along the way. Stay close and stay alert. I would avoid a confrontation if possible. They rejoice in dealing death to others, claiming that in doing so they cleanse their victims of sin and usher them unto the sunless sea. I would rather not sully my hands defending myself against such madmen. Sort of near another ether current here, looks like. There it is. And there's our glowy purple battle circle. Choco's still out, that's good. Blessed Watchman, what's up? By the blessed dark. Thank goodness you are unharmed. We would have arrived sooner, but we too had a rather unwelcome visit from the children. You are an acquaintance of Master Matoya, then. My apologies. The children have been acting strange of late, so I thought to take a closer look. I was careless. Strange? What have you seen? At first, there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary, the usual gathering of ingredients for poisons from flora and fauna. But then I took notice of their venomous spiders. They've been breeding them in much greater numbers. It's as if they're preparing for something. Any ideas as to what? It could be anything, really. If it meant the end of the blessed, nothing would be too cruel or violent for them. But perhaps we can use their present preoccupation with spiders to our advantage. If we were to introduce a threat to the nests where they keep them, the children would be compelled to save them. Bees, for example, are a natural predator of spiders. Set them loose on the nests and we would have our opportunity to sneak into their encampment. What a mischievous plan. I like it. With a bit of smoke, we should be able to subdue a few colonies long enough to secure their hives. Have you anything we might be able to use? We should have smoke bombs at the outpost just over there. Then it's settled. Grab a few smoke bombs from the outpost and search about for beehives. I imagine the bees won't take too kindly to your visit, but once they're knocked out, take the beehives and bring them back here. 2 will suffice, I should think. Give up, little bird. I need some of these wild swine, don't I? I gotta grab the beehive now. Put it in the sack. Need one more. Come over here. Alright, that'll take care of those. The guard returned to Slitherbow, but not before offering his thanks. As for the beehives, Thancred and I were successful in acquiring what we need. How did you fare? I got 2. This is more than enough. The children are certain to be displeased. Let us hurry before the bees begin to stir. The children's settlement is to the west, a place they call Woven Oath. According to the guard, there is an airway apart from the entrance which leads to the spiders' nests. If the fates are kind, the way will be clear. And we shall see, won't we? Ooh, a scorpion. nothing else nearby. Up there is the airway. Do you see it? A bit far, perhaps, but we should be able to toss the bag through. Though we should probably loosen the ropes keeping it closed, enough that it falls open when it lands inside. May I do the honors? That should do it. Now we wait. What is that? Bees! By the abyss, they're everywhere! Help! Someone help! We have to save the spiders! It sounds like our plan is working. Still, it is quite likely not all were drawn away from their posts. If you should come to blows with the children, I'll see to it any signs of struggle are concealed. Failing that, I'll create a distraction to buy Ishtola more time. Should anyone get past me, it fails to you to guard her. Your concern is appreciated, but I sincerely doubt it will come to that. Why do I get the feeling you enjoy the idea of my loafing about bored in the shadows? Come now, Thancred. The shadows are a fitting place for a warrior of darkness. Now, if you both are ready, let's do it. And let's see here. Oh yeah, we could just switch to miner or botanist or something here. And we will just ride on over there without having to worry about the monsters attacking us here. Hey y'all, don't mind us, we're just gonna ride through here. The font of seeing suggests this is a chamber for prayer. At the very least, they would not place this near potential distractions from their worship. Perhaps the monument is further in. Perhaps it is. This is it. I will be but a moment. Keep watch of the entryway. On second thought, would you mind examining the murals on these walls while I look over this? At a glance, I can tell they are old, predating the founding of the Blessed and the Children, in fact. We're not like to come here a second time. 'Twould behoove us to learn all that we can. And we need to examine the murals. The mural appears to be ancient. A warrior in the middle stands triumphant over what appears to be a creature of shadow. Other figures surround the warrior, rejoicing in their victory. The mural appears to be very old. A ruler sits atop a throne, attended by their subjects. The mural appears to be fairly old. A knight shields himself and their comrades from an encroaching darkness. The central figure is considerably faded.
These paintings, they seem familiar. Depictions of heroes throughout history. The Age of Gods, the Empire of Ronka, and this. There was a man, a researcher who pored over these pieces. He offered us work when we needed it. Slaying beasts, delivering provisions. A funny old bugger he was. But he had a good heart. He believed this first painting dated back to a time of myth and legends. A tribute to the heroes of a long-forgotten era.
Oh, welcome back, Wally. Thank you.
The story went that it was rediscovered by an explorer from Ronka, who was so struck by its majesty that a second painting was commissioned, commemorating the heroes of their day. One day you will all be here too, he said. Heroes immortalized forever. Maybe I'll paint you myself? I had a good laugh at that. We were only trying to make our way after all. Being heroes couldn't have been further from our minds. But it seems he actually went and did it. Before or after the flood, I wonder. Rather faded, isn't it, compared to the others? Or did someone try to scrape it off the wall? Well, maybe the man himself once he came to his senses. Do you suppose your deeds will warrant an addition to this collection? Or some other kind of monument?
There you are. I have everything I need. Let us quit this place. Is something the matter? We should go. The others are waiting.
I believe I now have everything needed to finish deciphering the tablet. Tell me, Anne, did the murals appear to be of any significance? Depictions of heroes from the Age of Gods, the Ronkan Empire, and immediately before the flood. Very astute observations. Perhaps in another lifetime you could be a curator of antiquities. Though it has no bearing on the task at hand, perhaps that knowledge may prove to be of use in the future. Let us hurry to Slitherborough. The others are waiting. After we've returned, the two of you should rest a while. No doubt Runar will be eager to have you sample his cooking. As soon as I discover anything of import, you will be the first to know. There's another Ether Current quest. Let's see what that's about first here, since we're going to have to come back here, I think. Oh yeah, I love these songs in this game for sure. Say, aren't you Anne? Master Matoya speaks quite highly of you. I'm sure you've more important things to concern yourself with, but I need help, and there's no one else I can turn to. That's pretty sad, a stranger here, and none of your other folks can help. It's my friend, Quinfort. Ever since we were young, he's always excelled in the arcane arts. In fact, even now, he's in training to become a priest of the Knights Blessed. Perhaps the greatest of his gifts is clairvoyance, but I fear it's taken a toll on his mind as of late. He's always been different, but not like this. He's changed, frighteningly so. The others think him no stranger than usual, but they're wrong, and I mean to prove it. You don't know him like we do, which is precisely why I'd like you to talk with him, to get an objective opinion on the matter. Assuming we find out what ails him, I hope there's a way to cure it. Alright, well, let's go see what's going on with him. Yo, Quinfort. As foretold by the will of the wood, we meet at last. I've been expecting you, Anne. Shh, no one must hear of this, not yet. My dreams are plagued with visions of the future. Calamity is upon us, and each night I witness our impending doom. But hope is not yet lost, for the dreams speak to me of a savior in the form of a great serpent. It was revered as a god in the days of the Ronkan Empire, and I believe it yet lives in the Great Wood, waiting to be roused from slumber. It has many names. Many would call it the Protector, some the Great Destroyer. The will of the wood demands I find this great serpent. It is our only hope of salvation. I have been chosen, Anne, to be the savior of Slitherbow. So, this is where you two have been hiding. Now that you've gotten to know one another, what do you think? His dreams are an ill omen. You believe him? Oh dear, I fear I've made a terrible mistake. Please don't tell me you two have communed with the will of a star or some such nonsense. Actually... Valen, please, we are in the midst of a most important discussion. When you first began talks of these dreams and delusions, I held my peace, but I won't let you drag anyone else into this. Such narrow-minded thinking is why only I have been chosen by the wood, by the great serpent. Yes, Quinfort, whatever you say. You've mocked me for the last time, Valen. I will summon the great serpent this very day and prove to you the truth of my visions. Quinfort, wait! Where are you going? To meet with misfortune would likely bring him to his senses, but he's my friend, and I can't stand the thought of him getting hurt out there. Will you help me look for him? If anything should happen to him, I'll never forgive myself. We'll head out and do that, and then come back here for the main story. Over there. I think I see him. Enough, Quinford. Even you should recognize the danger of wandering off alone in these woods. You really have gone mad, haven't you? Mock me all you like, Valen, but now you will bear witness to the truth with your own eyes. Behold, the divine protector of Ronka, the great serpent of legend. No, it can't be. That's the great serpent? I see nothing great about that. What is it exactly? I refuse to believe that it's a serpent. Please tell me you're joking. Do not be jealous, Valen. The will of the wood works in mysterious ways, and this serpent is the key to our deliverance. Okay. And that's not an ether current quest, so I'm not going to bother with that. All right, take care. Yep, take care of yourself, Wally. I'm going to be ending this stream here in a few moments myself, so have yourself a great time. See ya. And the guard told me you left with Master Matoya to Woven Oath. And no sooner do you return than she locks herself away in her chambers without so much as a word. She knows how I worry when she leaves without telling me. But she is safe, and that is all that matters. You must be hungry after such a journey. Why not have a seat there by the fire? The stew will soon be ready.
Strange. The others on patrol should have returned by now. Our food will be overcooked if we wait any longer. We will just have to start without them. Would you call Master Matoya and the others?
I tire of these games, Urianger. Why do you pretend you cannot see it? The blessing may spare her the fate of becoming a Light Warden. But you cannot be blind to the nascent corruption. She is not as she was in the Source. Though I have no proof, I fear that the light which poured forth from the Wardens was not negated at all. I fear it was absorbed, that she has been suffused with their light.
Though I have given thought to this possibility, I dare not speak until more is known.
By the time you deign to enlighten us, it may be too late, if it is not already. Urianger, I know full well, after all these years, that you have only the best of intentions. But that does not make it any easier to put my faith in a man so infatuated with secrecy. I have had my suspicions ever since the Exarch bade you speak that day. But now I must ask. The 8th Umbral Calamity and all that followed. Everything you claim to have seen. Did you?
Help! Someone help! The Ilmorans have come for us! We're under attack!
Meanwhile, in Yulemoor,
Lord Vorthry, how good it is to see you. How long has it been? Not since your inauguration, unless I'm mistaken. Too long, at any rate. May I say, how humbled I am to be invited not only into your city, but your home. You are as generous as ever.
And you as disingenuous. Let us dispense with the pleasantries. This merry band of dissidents people are calling Warriors of Darkness. They have slain Sin-Eaters, and by all accounts the Crystarium is complicit in their villainy. And now I hear reports of your people obstructing my soldiers, so I must ask, what exactly do you think you are doing?
I might ask you the same thing. It should be clear, even to you, that defeating the Light Wardens represents the world's only hope of survival. Even now, the people of Lakeland and Ilmeg rejoice in the return of night. For 100 years, they yearned for a means to fight back against the Sin-Eaters, and at last they have found one. Yet you choose to stand idly by and do nothing. Why?
Why? Because this hope you cling to is nothing more than a fever dream, an exercise in futility. Even should you slay the Sin-Eaters, the world as we know it is beyond salvation. With what little land and resources remain, the people would be free only to starve. Before long, they would turn to violence, then to war, and ultimately usher themselves unto oblivion. They require a firm hand to shepherd them from the edge. The hand of a king. Nay, a god. I will see their dreams fulfilled, their wishes granted. I will give them peace, order, and they shall never want for bliss. Men are fickle creatures who entertain vague ideals without the faintest notion what they cost. But a little fear can go a long way towards helping them realize what it is they truly need. Sanctuary. And they shall find none in this world save that
which I afford them. That is why the Sin-Eaters exist. To unite the world under my dominion.
A paradise fit to grace the 8th Umbral era.
What was that?
A minor epiphany, nothing more. You have always held sway over those around you. Those who defy you must submit or die. What sits before me is the inevitable result of bloated privilege and unchecked power. But man is more resilient than you think. His achievements are not the product of violence and bloodshed, but compassion and understanding. This calamity is but another crisis to be overcome. And we will, once we eliminate the Sin-Eaters.
You poor deluded fool. These people care not for the morrow. They care only for the now, and the contentment they lack. What good is a paradise to them if it is 1,000 years in the making, or even 100?
You underestimate them, Lord Vorthry. They see further than you think. I have beheld it in the blood and sweat and tears of those who would sacrifice everything for a future they may never know, that their children may never know. I have beheld it in the hopes and dreams of those who came before, which we bequeath to those who come after, that they might in turn build upon the foundations laid by our forebears. These are the bonds which hold man and his world together, not your gilded chains, and I will resist your every effort to shackle him.
In summary, you will continue to support the villains hunting my Sin-Eaters?
With tremendous enthusiasm, for I have faith in the future they would build.
Why do I even bother? Fools, the lot of you! So naive! So painfully predictable! Did you imagine I did not know your mind? That I would wait until after this meeting to dispatch my forces? Even as we speak, they march to the Sin-Eaters' defense. Insurrection will not be tolerated! The people of this world are mine to rule, mine to command. And you are no exception! What? How did he... Insolent swine! I will not stand for this! Do you hear me?
You speak for the Knights Blessed?
I do. I presume that is your doing. If you have come to parley, I must insist that you first return him to us.
You're in no position to make demands. By Lord Vorthry's decree, Rak'Tika now falls under the governance of Yulmore. You will henceforth answer to us.
Is that so? And the children of the Everlasting Dark have acquiesced to this madness?
We have reached an accord, yes. Too many times have the Knights Blessed shunned Yulmore's overtures of friendship. The risk that you harbor hostile intentions has grown too great to ignore. Therefore, his lordship has claimed dominion over this forest and bestowed executive authority upon the children of the everlasting dark.
In his wisdom, Lord Vorthri has agreed to recognize ours as the only permissible expression of dark worship. It's one true faith. You and your false creed are a blight on these woods. A foul, unholy corruption that must be cleansed. Little wonder the Warrior of Darkness visits both Lakeland and Ilmeg, yet shuns Rak'Tika. Your perverted teachings hold blessed shadow at bay.
You have accepted the yoke of Yulmore to spite us, then? Fools. Darkness will never return to these skies while they hold sway.
Those of you minded to obey his lordship are to make for Woven Oath with all haste. We will leave you, but you may have time to prepare.
Woven Oath? Are you suggesting we abandon our fate to join those zealots?
What has your faith afforded you thus far? Nothing! We will guide you along the righteous path.
And should we refuse?
Anyone found here upon our return will be considered a traitor to Yulmore, and dealt with as such.
We will discuss these developments after I have tended to our casualty.
Okay, I think we'll leave it here for today. We will pick back up here tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and continue our story into Shadowbringers here. Looks like things are about to get hot here in the Rak'Tika Great Wood, so hope you'll join us tomorrow while we continue on through. Anyways, thanks for your time today. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.